She's mouthy, she's fast, she's got game. Welcome to FastPacedLace, where the mic is hot and the pace never quits. Hey, we finally made it. Welcome to the very first episode of FastPacedLace, the podcast where we go full throttle into NFL chaos, Formula One energy, women's sports fire, and a little bit of Las Vegas heat. I'm your host, Lacey, former trackside sports mom, current mic dropper, and your go-to voice for all things fast, fierce, and a little mouthy. This pod, it's got no filter, but it's got receipts, so let's get into it. You ever find yourself yelling at a race official and think, wait, I should probably have a podcast? Well, that's me. This all started somewhere in BMX along the way during my son Roddy's career when he was being chased around by multiple teams, trying to find a place to fit in, tracks all across the country we were traveling to. But I was just a sports mom on the sidelines with tons of questions. Mainly helmet safety. Is that helmet even safe? Why was a 9-year-old burning out before middle school? And why do we praise hustle but ignore the health? And in the middle of a dusty Vegas weekend, after watching kids race 30 plus miles an hour with zero enforcement on helmet safety, I opened my mouth and I didn't stop. And I still haven't. From there, I sat down and I put all my thoughts into a notepad. And over the past few years, I've built a platform and created a schedule, and a podcast is formed. I now have a full launch kit, and boom. FastPacedLace was born, right out of the dirt with a mic and a mission. All right, I want to slow it down a little bit because every week we're carving out a moment of pause right here inside what I call the recovery room. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't your typical injury report. This is where we get real about what athletes, fans, families, and even coaches go through when the game pauses, but life doesn't. Because you know what's not talked about enough? The moments behind after the medal, the quiet between the wins, the stuff that doesn't fit into a post-race interview or a highlight reel. And that's the stuff that I'm looking to share. In every episode, the recovery room will be a place where we talk about injury recovery, not just the physical therapy, but the mental toll that comes with it. Dig a little bit into burnout for youth athletes who train like pros and parents who drive like chauffeurs, but their pocketbooks don't reflect it. I want to talk comebacks, breakdowns, and the things nobody claps for but really should. I want to cover performance anxiety, retirement decisions, career transitions, and even grief. Because grief isn't just in life, it's also in sports. And we're going there because no one else will. You'll hear stories from athletes who had to hit pause, from pros who took a break when the world told them to push through, from parents like me who had to help their kids walk away from the sport they loved because their body said, no more. And yeah, I'm talking about you, Rowdy. My own son had to step away from BMX after an injury that changed everything. No more racing, no more weekends on the track, just recovery. And let me tell you, it definitely broke us, but we rebuilt. And here we are talking about it. So this segment is super personal and I can't wait to dive into it every week. Let's hit you with some did you know stats, because opinions are cute, but numbers, they slap. Of course, helmet safety's first. Over 60% of youth athletes wear helmets that have been dropped, dented, or never properly fitted. A crash compromises the helmet, even if it looks fine. So if that helmet's been in more drama than the group chat, it's time to replace it. And we all know how the athletic group chats go. Women's sports coverage, or should I say lack thereof, it's still hovering around 10% of all sports media airtime, yet in 2023, the NCAA Women's Championship pulled 9.9 million viewers, beating out most NBA playoff teams. So tell me again how nobody watches us? Here's the truth. When we break it down, my mouth is what got me here. I've called out helmet policies. I've asked hard questions. I've said hard things on the internet. I've spoken to moms about hard topics. I've told track officials you can't build championships without protecting their heads. I've got side eyes. I've been shrugged. I've been left on red. I've been ignored in public. The quote, maybe you should just cheer from the bleachers energy was kind of what people were giving me. But instead, I turned it all around and I built a brand. This podcast is for everyone who's ever felt too loud, too opinionated, too much, and turned it into a purpose. I took what I knew from youth racing to F1 to NFL sidelines, and I created a safe space, a platform, a vibe for sure, a fast-paced, lace-up ride for people who want the truth behind the game. Because if you're not going to get it there, you're definitely going to get it here. We're making this a weekly thing because athlete stories deserve the spotlight. And this week, I'm shouting out Preslie Gould, an amateur USA BMX rider who just went off at the Rock Hill, South Carolina Nationals. Preslie took home 2 podium finishes in the girls' cruiser and glass divisions, racing with fire, control, and the kind of grit that can't be coached. She's not just a racer, she's a statement. Young, talented, humble, and powerful. And if USA BMX is paying attention, they'll keep giving her the coverage she deserves. Preslie, FastPacedLace sees you and will be watching. Now, this isn't just a sports podcast, it's a culture shift. This podcast is for the Vegas fans tired of being left last in line in national coverage. It's for the sports moms who know the game better than the refs, for the F1 girlies who care about the pit stop strategy and who Lewis is wearing, the young athletes who want to build their name, not just their stats, but want to create a brand. It's for you. And if you've ever been told to tone it down, sit it out, or quote, let the man talk sports, this space is your rebuttal. Now, before we wrap up, I gotta tease what's coming next because episode 2 is a heavy hitter. It's called The Captain's Dash, and it features none other than Olympian Nic Long. Yep, that's right, Nic Long. We're talking his BMX journey, his leadership in the BMX world, and his charitable contributions, mental health and high-performance sports, and what it really means to step back without stepping away. It's deep, it's real, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. That's a wrap on this episode of Fast Paced Lace. Thank you guys for tuning in. If this hit you in the gut or the glove, subscribe, follow, tag us, and like all the things. We've got new episodes dropping weekly with solo takes, athlete stories, culture convos, and yes, plenty of Vegas chaos. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, or Spotify, and in your headphones on Friday before that nighttime fun kicks in. Until next time, lace up, show out, and remember, sports ain't just a boys' club anymore. We're fast, we're laced, and we're here. Don't forget, like, follow, and share.